Hello, Tien. Hello, Libra. Good morning. What am I doing now? I just started my stream and I'm about to teach. Hello, Vicky. I'm gonna do this. Let's see. Hello, Jasmine and Isan. Oh, tired. Namaste. What will I teach today? I don't know. It depends on what you ask. That's how this works, usually. You ask me questions and I answer them. So the first part has to happen before the second part can happen. Thank you very much, Isan. Please tell you how you can improve your English. You listen all the time. Well, Jasmine, if you listen all the time, then you know the answer that I will give to that question. So how long have you listened to me, Jasmine? Is today your first day? Here? Watching me? Yes. So, here is my YouTube channel. I have hundreds of videos where I answer questions about English. Here is my website. I have a lot of free resources to study English on my website. And here is my blog, where I have written articles about how to be more fluent and how to learn vocabulary and how to learn how to think in English. Okay? Can I give you a trial lesson? No. Libra, I have given 2,000 hours of trial lessons. My lessons are individual. So every lesson I give is different because every person is different. So, if you take a lesson from me, then I will say things to you that I might say differently, or maybe I only say to you that I don't say to somebody else. So, all I can say is, it's worth it. You're really scared to get on stage and forget sentences that you speak, wrong sentences. Okay, so what's the worst thing that can happen if you forget? If you forget what to say, what's the worst thing that can happen? Will you die if you forget the right words? If you forget what to say, will you die? Anyone? The world will explode. Indeed, Alexander, that's right, it will. The sky will fall, the earth will explode, the universe as you know it will end. Because you say, will you be physically injured? Will something be hurt physically? You are worried about embarrassment, right? You're worried about embarrassment, right? Right, it feels embarrassing. Okay, now my next question is, Nalini, care about what other people think when you're 37 years old? You're an adult, Nalini. You and what you think about your learning. So, if you care about what people think, that's here. Okay, fine. But what you care about learning needs to be here. All right? So, do you know the best way to get over embarrassment? Embarrass yourself. Embarrass yourself. Do something silly. Okay? And you'll find that embarrassment it's a false enemy. It's an illusion. It's not really there. It's all in your head. It doesn't exist. Only if you let it exist does it exist. Okay? Embarrassment and shyness, they only exist if you let them exist. And they don't help you at all. They don't help you. All right? The topic is everything. It always is everything. Okay? That's how this goes. Okay, the next question is, how can you do English rhythm and intonation? Martin, rhythm and intonation is really very personal and individual. Okay? Everybody has a different rhythm and intonation in English. Now, there are some similarities, but Martin, I think that intonation in language is just like intonation in music. Make it sound the way you feel it should sound. Okay? For example, Martin, there's a famous actor, his name is Christopher Walken. And he has a very unique way of talking. And his intonation and rhythm is completely different than most people. But that's part of why he's famous. Develop as your own voice, your sense of what it should feel like. Based on what you've heard, right? Your influences, right? So when you hear somebody, If you say, oh, I like the way Teacher Mark says that, okay, then that has influenced you now. So maybe you'll sound partly like that too. Okay? Hello, Orenbeck. Good to see you again too. Hello, Waleed. Depends on the characters. Maybe they're introverts. Yeah, okay, but introversion, let's put it this way. What does introversion and extroversion mean? Okay? Extroversion means you like to be out talking to people, and introversion means you don't like to be out talking to people, right? Great. Fine. However, in the real world, everyone needs to talk to people. So that means that you are giving the extroverts an advantage. You're giving them an advantage when you are shy and embarrassed. You're too shy and embarrassed to ask about that apartment, so the guy who's not shy will get that apartment. Is that his problem or your problem? It's your problem. Shyness and embarrassment are like laziness. You know laziness is not a good quality. So nobody says, oh, I'm just lazy. Or they shouldn't. They shouldn't just proudly say, I'm just a lazy person. Nobody should proudly admit they're lazy. We all know that's bad. But lots of people proudly admit, oh, I'm just shy. Don't be. All right? I am the extra. I can talk to people, but that doesn't mean that I want to all the time. All right? But I won't allow a situation, I won't allow an opportunity to go by because I was shy. Okay? When you talk to a customer in English, you make mistakes, you feel like, oh, did I make a mistake in the customer? So maybe that means you're speaking to them on record it. Record it for yourself. Then later you can listen to yourself and you can listen to them. That's good for both your improvement of yourself, right? You're listening to your own voice to see what do I sound like, and you're listening to their voice again. Okay? Hello, Belen. Hello. I was about to message you, actually. I'm hoping you're doing okay. How are your teeth? When you speak slowly, you're good with to convey things, but when you speak fast, it's messed up. Okay, great. So speak slowly. Guess what, Nalini? If you speak slowly, people will listen to you more. But if you speak quickly, people will listen to you less. So, speak slowly. It's fun. There is no speed to language. There is no speed. Nobody has ever said, you have to speak this many words per second. No one has ever said that. Okay? Ooh, that's bitter today. Ugh. Hello, Ashraf. If everyone spoke like me, the world would be flawless. Ooh, I don't know if that's true. Pretty sure there'd still be a lot of flaws, but okay. I might go get some hot cider to drink today. I've got this iced coffee like I always do, but I think I might change it up today because it is cold today. This morning I woke up and it was minus 14 C. outside. It's minus 11 C now. It's cold. Yeah. That's cold. That's good, Bella. I'm glad to hear that. Good for you. I wish I could go to a dentist and get some things worked out. Do I speak the same way in normal life as I do here when I'm teaching? Yes and no. Anytime I want people to really listen to me, then this is the way I speak. Okay? I speak my words as though I'm performing them. But when I'm hanging out with my friends or just chatting or whatever, no. I probably don't speak that same way. I speak more casually, more quickly, more randomly, more derogatorily. Okay, Nagina, what is your question? Hello, Madison. Take care, Nalini. Hello, Genya. And Bacon. Hello, did I notice you earlier? I think I did see you, but then I forgot. 2 ago, I tried calling around. It's just crazy where I live. Like, I don't know. It's just unreasonably difficult to actually get to see a dentist, especially if you want to actually go to one, like, consistently, you know, to see the same person, not just some random dude. But yeah. But in Taiwan, I could just walk in the front door of some place and be like, "Can you work on my teeth?" And they'd be like, "Yeah." You hope you can smile soon? Yeah, I hope you can smile soon too, for many reasons. If you work with VC Dial, I don't know what that is. It's a contact center solution used by thousands. Okay, so you're a call center person. You take calls for customer service or something like that, yeah? I assume, I think. So, how can you speak with a customer for this kind of a job? Let me give you a couple of links that would be better for you, because there are some web pages that I know about that have a really good whole explanation about that. One moment. Where is it? Yep, I think this is it. Yeah. This page has a bit. You should check out this page, eslbrains.com. Here it is. And then there is this one too, I believe. Nope, not this one. Where did that page go? Why is it not just coming up like it should be? Well, start with that one. But there are, I think maybe I'm just looking at I'm searching for the wrong thing. How about that? Yeah, here's a good one. This page from Indeed is pretty good to give you some basic things to say on these kinds of calls. And here is... Yeah, I mean, there are dozens of pages that have something similar to these, just like English call center type things. Like, try this one too. All right, let me go back and make sure I didn't miss any comments. Yeah, last time I went to an independent dentist to get some work done, and it cost a fortune. Hello, Carlos. Does knowing word etymology help learners remember vocabulary like gullible? Yes, it does. It helps me, and I think it helps a lot of people, because many of the words are very interesting. So when you're trying to learn vocabulary, most people try to memorize vocabulary, right? And so when you memorize, it's boring as hell. And because it's boring as hell, it's very easy to forget it. It's hard to remember it. But if you find something that's interesting, a cool story or something like that, that goes with the word, that makes it easy to remember. Now, does every word have a cool story? No. No, a lot of them don't have any cool story at all, and some of them have even confusing or weird stories. But weird sometimes is good, because weird is also easy to remember. So yeah, and you were asking like gullible. Yeah, there's a lot of words like gullible. There's another word like dupe. Dupe is another one that I believe the original meaning of dupe was also a bird. It was a kind of bird. It was a dumb bird, right? So when you were a dupe, you were like a dumb bird. When you're if you're gullible, you're like a gull, which was like a dumb bird. So yeah, does that make it easier to remember? I think so. So yeah, it can be. I think it is. Do I know a flirt vocabulary? Do I know how to flirt in English? Sure, I know how to flirt in English. Do I have a teaching program for that? No. How to riz in English and not look cringy? So I never riz because I'm an adult. That's a word for children. It's a slang term for kids. I'm not dating a teenager, so I don't need to riz anybody. And when you're an adult, you don't... When you're getting older, you shouldn't be trying to use the language that's younger. You should be trying to use the language that's older. That's how that works, right? It becomes more natural for you to use language that's more adult. So do it. That's the group you're in now, right? And it is cringy. It's cringy when people are, if I start talking about riz this and riz that and whatever, it's I don't teach slang, Alexander. I don't teach slang at all in English because slang is just temporary language, and it's exclusionary temporary language. It's language that's just meant for a group, not for everybody. I don't generally want to teach anything that's just for one group, not when it's exclusionary. There's some language that's just proprietary, like vocabulary in drumming, right? I'm a drummer, so there's a lot of drum words that you won't know that I do know. That's proprietary, but not exclusionary. So you can learn it. Nobody's asking you not to. But when young people create new slang, that slang is created because they're trying to eliminate some people from knowing. They want you to not know. That's the point. But flirting, if you're talking about flirting, Alexander, flirting is mostly confidence. 90% confidence, 10% humor. That's flirting. All right? Adria has the option of getting the B2 this year, but she hasn't had the motivation to do it because of... Yeah, I know. Well, that's okay. Just give her a break, I think motivation right now just needs to be get through it, Every word has a cool story if you're willing to make one up. And actually, that's a trick that I use with some of my students. I sometimes will tell my students to make up some sort of a story about where a word comes from, if that helps them remember. As long as they just remember it's a made-up story. Don't tell anybody that that's the real thing, Just, if you... if the word purple, if you want to say, the word purple was created by an island of purple apes. They created this word purple to, talk about the color of their fur. If that helps you by creating a weird story in your mind, do it. Yeah, that's tricking the brain. That's a brain hack. What is an advanced synonym of put off or procrastinate? Procrastinate is the advanced word most of the time. Procrastinate comes from a Latin word pro, meaning forward, and crastinate from crastinus, I think, which means till tomorrow. Tomorrow. So procrastinate means for tomorrow. Put it off till tomorrow. And I think that would mostly be the word we would usually use. However, let me just search and see if there's another one that I would consider equally formal. No, I think procrastinate would be the most formal. You could maybe say... being dilatory. To be dilatory is another form. It's kind of a weak form of it, but It's like you're lazy. You don't do things when you should do them. Okay, but procrastinate would probably be the most formal word to use in that situation. Okay. Hello, Lindy. Hello, Carolina. What? There is no one charming word or line you can get the attention of a wonderful lady. If you want the attention of a wonderful lady, then you need to become a wonderful man. You can't get them to like you. You have to make yourself likable. That's how that works. Stop looking out and start looking in. Yeah, if you want to talk about flirting, go to Bacon. Teacher Bacon will help you with that. Lindy says, can I get some advice about improving my English level? I've been stuck in B1 level for a year. That's normal. B1 level is a big level, Lindy. Okay, I say this all the time. All the levels of English are like neighborhoods, okay? The A1 level and the A2 level, they're not that big. They're a small neighborhood, so it's easy to get through them pretty quickly to be familiar with that neighborhood. Like, I know that house, I know that house, I know where I am. This is my neighborhood, I know it. But the B1 level and the B2 level, those are huge neighborhoods. They're big. It takes a long time to become familiar with that kind of a neighborhood. So you have to live there a little bit longer. All right? So maybe you're not stuck. Maybe you're just in the middle. What's the difference between proprietary and exclusionary? Zoe, proprietary means something that is required of that act, right? So something that is required or exclusive to. So, for example, sometimes there's a proprietary formula, right? Or let me think of a better example. Hold on, let me think. Wait a minute. Let's see, like software. Duh, I should have said that the first time. Software is proprietary, so it means it's privately owned, it's privately kept, it's part of that company, it's not for everybody, right? It's private, okay? Consider it like exclusive, okay? So proprietary is of this company or of this, so for example, software, Coca-Cola, the formula for Coca-Cola, that's what I was going to say before. That's proprietary, right? That's the company's formula. It's exclusive to them, okay? So, exclusionary is a bigger word. To exclude, ex meaning out, and, I can't remember, let me check the Latin. Exclusion, claudere, yeah. Claudere meaning to close or shut, right? So to shut out, that's what exclusion means, right? So exclusionary means you're trying to shut people out. Proprietary means this is owned by this company, it's strictly for this company, it's protected by this company, nobody else has the right or, should be using it. Okay? I look like a big G in flirting. I'm not a big G in flirting, no. I know how to flirt. But you know how that happens? I'll tell you how that happens. I'm a drummer. I have played in bars for half of my life. You have you know, when you work in a bar for half your life, there is some opportunity for flirting. After finishing of MS Excel and PowerPoint, should I start the TTP program or IT system guide? And give me some information, please, about Nagina, if you're talking about that dial program, I don't know. I am not familiar with it. I have no idea. ChatGPT is what I would ask. I would ask ChatGPT to help you learn how to use that. Okay? It will probably do a much better job than I will because I don't know it at all. Okay? 3 tips to provide for English for Spanish speakers quickly. Amelia, let me think about that for a moment. Well, for Spanish speakers specifically, I would say you need to know what are the differences in pronunciation between Spanish and English, right? So, for example, the R sound, right? It's often slightly different, right? So, practice the different sounds that are different from your language. Find the specific sounds and focus on them and try to learn them. Why? Because every language is not just vocabulary and grammar and pronunciation, it's also the movements. You need the right movements to make the right sounds. Okay, so that's what I would say, 1. 2, Spanish speakers specifically, there are quite a few websites, I would say, that are designed for Spanish. I have them. What did I do with that? I wonder if I still have that link. What did I do with that link? I used to have a link for a website that was amazing that had, it was like a free website to learn English for Spanish speakers. It's out there. Do a search online and look for it, all right? I can give you 2. And then the 3rd tip would be watch me. Of course, that's the 3rd tip. Postpone, yeah, but postpone is not really like procrastinate. Postpone might be a responsible act, but procrastination is never really a responsible act, although we might argue it as such. Dilatory would be D-I-L-A-T-O-R-Y. Okay, next. How do you make yourself likable? You know, it's kind of simple. Look in the mirror, and if you're talking about dating, look in the mirror, look at yourself, and then say, would I date me? Would I date me? Be honest. Look at yourself. What do you have? What qualities do you have? Are you charming or not? Or do you need to work on that? Do you have some skill or some talent or some ability? Are you a generous person? These are the things that you should develop, okay? It's not about going to the gym, all right? It's not about... It is about having money, but money is not something that you should focus on when you're trying to get a person to like you, all right? That's everyone knows that, all right? If you're using money as your way to get somebody to like you, it's not going to end well. You know that. Everybody knows that. That's not difficult, all right? So forget about that one. But skills, talents, charm, knowledge, confidence, These are the things that make you likable. Okay, are you interesting or not? Make yourself interesting. Some people are not interesting. What kind of hat is this I'm wearing? Sometimes it's called an Irish bowler cap, or what's the other one they call it? A newsboy. That's what it's called. Yeah, sometimes it's called a newsboy or a bowler hat, I think. Oh, baker cap, or this one also says a baker boy cap. Interesting. Yeah. A newsboy. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. All right, next one. Which mistakes do native speakers usually ignore, which stand out? That's a good question. Hilarious. There are a bunch of websites online that show the most common mistakes in English. I think I have one that I just saw here a minute ago. So, you know, yeah, here's one right here. This is one. Common English grammar mistakes. But your question is a little bit different. Be patient, everybody. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up with the comments. Okay, so native speakers will usually pay attention to things like sentence structure and pronunciation. Those will be the most common things that their ears are going to focus on about whether you sound good or not. Okay, if your accent is too strong and they can't understand you, then that will bother them. And if it bothers them, then they're going to not like you. All right? And then sentence structure is often a thing too, because many languages, the word order is different. And when you naturally translate from your language into English, sometimes you accidentally keep the word order from your language, right? It happens all the time. And that would be something that would be too obvious to us. You know, we'll hear it and be like, well, that sounds weird, and we'll make fun of you. Well, only the stupid, ignorant, childish people will make fun of you, but there will be a few of them. But which ones do they ignore? Most of them, most of the time. You know, people are not looking to try to correct your grammar, in my experience. And especially if you look like you're doing your best and you're trying your best, most people are, I think they'll say, okay, well, you know, you're trying your best. They'll think that, you know. Why is the English test only 6 levels? You mean the A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2? That was just one way that they decided to break it up. I can't remember the history of it, but there's a reason. It's just an arbitrary way that they decided to break up the language. Let me check on my people over here. I forgot about my... Oh, good. Okay, good. I didn't miss any of my YouTube people. People will think you're a liar if you say what? I'm not sure what we're talking about now. Can I make classes about advanced English words, phrases, and idioms that are common for speaking? Saeed, I have. They're on my YouTube channel. They're on my YouTube channel. You have to go find them. All right? I don't make custom classes because that's something you should pay for. So, I show up here and I try to answer questions as much as I can. But I can't give you for free what I pay, what other people pay me for. Do you understand, Saeed? Many people pay me for what you want me to give you. All right? If I'm listening to some brand new fast song from Eminem, will I understand the lyrics? Probably not. No. No way. Actually, Alexander, I'll be honest with you. I'm an English teacher and I'm a musician, but I am terrible with hearing words in songs. I don't really listen to the lyrics of almost any music. No matter what music it is, my mind is always on the music, not on the words. It's just the way my brain has always worked. I focus on the instruments, on the bass and the drums and the piano and the guitars and percussion and whatever else is going on. That's what my ears are focused on. You don't really focus on those things. Most people don't, but I do. But then my ears don't really care about the words, to be honest with you. So there has been one, I've been in one band, there's one band I've been in for 25 years, and even that band, my songs, our songs that we wrote, I don't know the words to them because I don't pay attention to the words. So that's kind of a different thing, right? I just don't pay attention to them. But Eminem is fast. I would have to read it, I'm sure. What's my favorite line? I don't think I have a favorite line. This above all, to thine own self be true. That one. Okay, let me catch up. Wow, too many comments. Lily wants to come on stage. Okay, Lily, if you're still here, then give me a minute. I'll try to finish up the comments and I'll bring you on stage. Yuck, 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 indeed, bacon. Let's see. Is it normal, or anyone has had the same thing as me, when I speak English, I sometimes mix many accents together, like Indian, Thai, Chinese, and Korean? And you're from Laos, right? So I can see why you would maybe have a little bit of a kind of a Thai kind of an accent, because it's somewhat similar in that region, but I don't know why you would sound Chinese or Korean or Indian. Flat cap, okay, sure, there you go. Do I teach English at school or college? I used to teach English in schools. Now I only teach online. But for 4.5 years, I taught overseas. And I have taught every level of student. Preschool, kindergarten, elementary school, all the way up to adult. Okay? Junior high, high school, college. Someone spoke to me unexpectedly and you froze. It happens. You'll get over it. It's okay. Don't worry. Did the Russian language have any influence on American English? Not that I'm aware of. No. No, not that I can. Nothing I know about the history of either. No, as far as I know, no. Is it call his? It's call his bluff. I'm going to call his bluff or call your bluff. Okay? Loneliness is a person's carnival. I like that. That's cool. I like that phrase. Waleed, I have no idea. You'll have to ask somebody who knows about that. I don't know about that. It could be called a beret. No, a beret is different. A beret is a French hat that's actually angled to one side, so it's a slightly different hat. They're similar looking, but no, this is definitely not a beret. That's a French hat. Like I said, AKM, it's going to happen. You're going to forget sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. Life will go on. The sky will not fall. The universe will not explode. Don't worry. Okay? Why does "I don't mind if I do" mean yes? Because you're saying, if someone said, "Would you like to sit down?" Would you like to sit down? They're asking you, and you now are saying, "I do want to sit down." So then you're kind of making a joke. You're being like, "Well, I don't mind if I do sit down." It's like you're inviting yourself. It's kind of a joke on being humble, kind of, sort of. Like you're joking about being humble, right? "I don't mind if I do." "Would you like some candy?" "Well, I don't mind if I do. Thank you." All right? "Do I like to be live and speak with you?" Sure. Yeah. Most of the time. Most of the time. Is "irregardless" considered incorrect in English? It is considered incorrect in English, but it is commonly said. And why is it said? Because it's just one of those words where you get mixed up in your head. You'll think of maybe irrespective. That is a word, right? There are other IR words that do begin that way. So it's kind of there's a name for it, and I can't remember what it's called now, but there's a name for this when your brain confuses a one word and thinks it should begin with something that it doesn't, because of the sound of it. That's this kind of brain trick that happens. So you'll hear it even on the news. I hear it all the time. Well, not all the time, but occasionally I'll hear somebody say, "irregardless," you know. It's because it's that, plus it's one that it's so common. So many people make that mistake that the mistake propagates itself. It continues itself. Okay? I can show my beautiful smile. Yeah. All right. Lily, are you still here, Lily? Lily, are you still here? Probably not. 很多人没有耐心。Okay, would anybody like to come talk to me? I won't bite. I might bark. Words are just names for things. If enough people think it means something, it's a word. Kind of, Bacon, although I don't follow that perspective entirely. I believe in etymology and the need for things to have root structure. So, if you can tell me how whatever word you've created has some sort of root structure, fine. But there are some words that have been created out of thin air that I will not accept. That's just making shit up. Madison is patient. That's good, Madison. I'm glad. Madison, did you want to come talk to me? You can if you want to. And I didn't give you that page, did I? Or did I? Maybe I did. Here is the page that has a bunch of common English grammar mistakes. If anybody wants to check that out, that's a good page to check out. Okay? But if you go to Facebook, it will take you all of 5 minutes or less to find 10 grammar mistakes by natives. Mostly because they just are lazy and don't give a beep anymore. Nobody cares about their language anymore. They're just lazy. I know. I'm a stickler. I'm a prude. I'm a grammatical prude in some ways. It's funny because in some ways I hate grammar and I hate being a stickler, but on the other hand, I cannot understand why some people would be so proud to look like they can't speak well. I don't understand why you would proudly want to appear that you cannot use language well. You know, adulting indeed. Yeah, you know, but the thing is, though, it's not adulting. That you know, this whole idea of maturity and immaturity and age, right, is all a facade. It's all an illusion, right? I know plenty of adults who are really immature and don't think about things the right way. And I know some children who think about things quite maturely and exactly how you should think of things, you know? So, but their words, those words do have root, though. Those are not out of thin air. Adulting is a variance of adult. Bestie is a variance of best friend, right? Boomer is a variance of the baby boomer generation. So those do have, that's root, right? I'm talking about words like, what was it, skibbity, and what was the other one? Yeet, and there's a few of them that like literally have no etymology root whatsoever. It's just some stupid kid came into math class one day and decided to say a word and it went viral. You know, those are the ones I cannot abide. All right, well, next time, Madison. Next time. Do I often say seldom in comparison with rarely? I actually think I say rarely more often than seldom. But that's a personal thing. I think that the use of the word seldom versus rarely is really, it's up to you. It's what we say. It's neither here nor there. It means whatever. Doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. It means do whatever you want. Okay? If you want to say seldom, say seldom. If you want to say rarely, say rarely. If you want to use both, use both. You know? I did try to answer your question. I don't know. That's my answer. My answer is I don't know. I have never used that program before. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Ask ChatGPT. That's my answer. I told you. I don't know, but ChatGPT will know. Ask ChatGPT. Okay? I wasn't ignoring you. I already answered a long time ago. Okay? I don't know. Okay? Do I think the word seldom has become outdated? No. No. I think some people use it, some people don't. I don't think it's outdated. Guys, you know, if you like the sound of a word, then use that word. Just like if I hear a song and I like that song, I'm going to listen to that song. I don't care what you think about that song. If I like that song, then I'm going to use that song. I'm going to listen to that song. So if you hear a word that you like, then use it, because that's how language works. If you like it, use it. Just like if you like a song, everybody doesn't have to like that song. Okay? Let's see. Sartaj. And ChatGPT is sometimes so bad. Sometimes. But most of the time when it's bad, it's not because of it, it's because of you. If you don't ask it the right way, it won't answer the right way. And after you get one answer, then you have to ask more. You have to be curious about it. You have to say, prove it to me. Show me the evidence. Is that true? I don't know if that's true. I don't believe you. I don't understand. Can you explain it another way? But you don't do that. ChatGPT is great if you do those things. If you talk like that, if you use those techniques, it is great. If you say, please help me with this, I can't do it, it will not help you with that because it does not have enough information. Yeah, explain it to me like I was 5 years old. That's what we tell it. We say, explain it to me like I'm a dummy. I have said that to ChatGPT before. Explain it to me like I'm a dummy. Well, I am a dummy. I'll help you with this engineering problem. Yes. Hello, Nora. How are you? Do I own a shiesty? I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh, like a full-on face mask, balaclava. That's what I've always heard them called. It's balaclava. When I was a boy, yes. When I was a boy, I had one for winter, right? When we would go out and play and have snowball fights and whatever, right? But I haven't worn one since I was like 10, probably 8. I don't know. If you live in a very cold place that has consistent cold, like Chicago or Minneapolis or Boston or Maine, then yeah, probably you own one, maybe. Especially guys. Okay? But it's kind of funny because the word that we usually use is a balaclava, which is actually from where is that from? I can't remember. Is it Sweden, Norway, Finland? It's Norse. I remember that much. Crimea. From the Crimean War. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting. See? That's interesting. Balaclava. And I didn't know about the Battle of Balaclava, which was during the Crimean War in 1854. See? Learn something new every day. AKM says, thank you, Teacher Mark. Even though I tell myself it's okay, I still feel nervous. So, when you feel nervous about speaking, right? People say this to me all the time. I still feel nervous. I still feel like I'm shy. I'm worried, right? You're not confident. So then I ask you, Can you ride a bicycle? AKN, can you ride a bicycle? Okay. And when you ride a bicycle, are you confident? Do you feel confident when you ride a bicycle? Or are you worried? If you are confident when you ride a bicycle, that's great. But when you started riding a bicycle, you were not confident. When you started riding a bicycle, you were worried, and it was uncomfortable, and you looked weird, right? So, how do you become confident on a bicycle? You ride it, right? That's how you became confident on a bicycle. You rode the bicycle. Then you became confident. So then how can you become confident with speaking in front of people? Ride the bicycle. Do it. Speak in front of people. More and more and more and more. Okay? Eventually it'll be like the bicycle. All right? I always quote, there's one person I quote from Persia. It's the ancient Persian poet Rumi. The poet Rumi. Have you ever heard of Rumi? R-U-M-I, Rumi? One of my favorite quotes is from Rumi, and he says, all of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. I'll say it again. All of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's Ibn al-Rumi. I could be wrong. I think he's an Iraqi poet. I think it's a different one. I'm talking about the Persian poet, Rumi. Yeah, that's a great quote, man. It's one of my favorite quotes. I remember hearing that when I was like 24, maybe. I think I was reading that when I was 20. I started reading his poetry when I was in my 20s. And when I read that one, I was like, oh, man, that hits hard. That hits hard, man. Oh, look, now they're saying he's Tajiki. All right, so a Tajik poet. I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know. He's Rumi. I just know Rumi. In Persian, they call him Molana. In Persian, his name is Molana. That's that, and they claim that he's from Iran, from Persia. So anyway, yeah, I love that quote. It's really deep, and it is true. It's true. You're worried about being nervous, so you don't do the thing that makes you worried. But you can't get over your worry unless you do the thing. That's why he says, seek disharmony. Do the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Keep doing that. And the more you do that, eventually you become comfortable. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. Which subject is more important, mathematics or languages? If you say mathematics or languages, I'll say mathematics. If you say mathematics or language, I'll say language. Languages implies that you're learning more than one for the purpose of multiple lingual communication, right? Multilingual communication. But when you say mathematics and language, it's hard to talk about mathematics without language, right? So I would say language supersedes mathematics in most cases. Buckle. What about buckle? What's the word buckle? I don't know. Oh, bicycle. Yes, that's right. Shiesty. Yeah, that's funny. I've never heard that term before, but I'm old, man, so I don't know. Could be. Take care, Bacon. Good luck on your call. That's the one right there. The Persian mystic poet. That's right. That's the one I was talking about. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. Yeah, I've read a bunch of his stuff. Most of his stuff is romantic stuff. He's a big love poem guy. He wrote a lot of love poetry type stuff. But he also wrote a lot of stuff that's just good like wisdom kind of stuff. Just good thoughts, good things to think about and consider and contemplate. Yeah. My country is so beautiful. Please be brave and show it to the people. Don't worry or be nervous. You're talking to me, Madison? I'm not worried. I'm not nervous. I don't know how to answer that. I do show my country. Oh. No, to A. Who's A? Huh? Sometimes I get very confused here, trying to understand who's talking to who. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. It's hard to know who's talking to who. All right. Any other questions? It's okay, Madison. I thought you were sleeping. Thought you went to bed. Oh, look, we had somebody raise their hand. Nobody? No, now they're gone. If you want to come on stage, raise your hand. If you want to come on stage, raise your hand. If you don't know who I am, my name is Teacher Mark. I have a YouTube channel. It has a lot of videos with English questions and answers on it. Here is my website. If you want to buy private lessons from me, sometimes I like to eat. I like to eat food because I'm a human being, but I have to pay for that food, and I pay for that food by teaching lessons. So you can buy lessons from me and help me eat. And this is my blog. So I have a YouTube channel, a website, and a blog. You love English songs. You understand the lyrics. And understanding the lyrics helps you learn more English. But whenever I try to recall the meanings... So Nora, here's the thing about English songs, and what does that song mean? Most of the time, Nora, the answer, when you say, what does this song mean? It means whatever you want it to mean. Because songs are supposed to be something that the songwriter, they wrote something about their life. Sure, maybe it's something about their personal life, but they are not trying to really express that. They want you to connect with the feeling, not the actual thing. Right? So they're not trying to get you to understand how they broke up with this one girl. They're trying to get you to understand breakups, right? Sadness in breakups, right? So, if you hear a song or you see the lyrics and you're not sure what it means, you can look it up and you can try to find out. But sometimes the answer to the question of what does this mean, it means whatever you think it means to you. Okay? Can you buy? Yes, you can buy. Yes, in China. If you cannot, 一些中国人他们需要用梯子，如果他们要去我的my website, they need a VPN. Okay, but not all. But send me a message. If you want private lessons, you can send me a message if you're in China, and I have a Chinese assistant who helps me to schedule and payments and all of that. Okay, so most of my students are Chinese. Okay, most of my students are Chinese. So, yes, you can buy lessons from me, but you might need to go to my assistant to do it. Okay? Will I please share about why I think that language is more important than mathematics? Can you discuss mathematics without language? If I say 2 plus 2 equals 4, then what? You can have an entire conversation about everything with only mathematics? No, there are other words there. Those are other words. That's language. That's language. Okay? So, in order to discuss any topic, to talk about science, you need language. To talk about math, you need language. To talk about biology, you need language. To talk about art, you need language. To talk about history, you need language. Language supersedes most things. That's why language is so important. Yeah, it's very cold here today. Last night it was minus 14, and right now it's minus 9 C. A dumb person can also learn mathematics, but that's not what you asked. You said which one is more important, or that, and I'm telling you that language is more important. When you need to eat, do you need math or language? When you want to reproduce, is math going to help you with that? 2 plus 2 equals 4 doesn't work in the bedroom. Language supersedes everything. To talk about philosophy, you need language. To talk about anything, you need language. Language is so important. That's why if you see many philosophers and historians, they're also linguists. Like Noam Chomsky, a very famous linguist. Why did he study philosophy and linguistics? Because the formation of language is part of the formation of philosophy. Language is how we form ideas. They're kind of connected. It's like which one happened first, the chicken or the egg? Do thoughts happen first, or does language happen first? Which one? How do we talk about thoughts without language? You can have a thought, but then how do you communicate it? Right? So that's why language is so important. What did I miss? I feel like I missed something. Huh. Okay, never mind. Do I think English language is the most important language in the world? I'll say yes, but I'll say because it is the language that is the most common language for common communication. That's the reason why it has become the most important, right? So this is what I tell everybody. If I go to China, can I find somebody who speaks Portuguese? Yeah, I can, but will it be much easier for me to find someone who speaks English? Yeah, it will be. So if I am Portuguese and I speak English and I go to China, it will be a lot easier to find somebody who speaks English than it will be to find somebody who speaks Portuguese, at least in that part of the world, right? So it's called a lingua franca. Lingua franca, it means, it means language of the Franks, but it means common language. It means a language that's common for people to communicate with. Okay? It's actually a funny story where the word lingua franca comes from. It's Latin, but it comes from the Crusades. During the Crusades, when the Muslim, the Moors were fighting against the Crusaders, right? You had when they were fighting against the Crusaders were from Europe. They were all from different places in Europe. Some were from England and from France and from all over, and when they came to Northern Africa or to the Middle East, the people in the Middle East and Northern Africa, they basically thought, oh, well, these are all the same. These are all the same people. They're all the same. They're just foreigners. And at that time, they just called you Frankish, which was French. They were calling everybody was French. So lingua franca means language of the Franks or language of the French. At that time, that's because any foreign language they heard, every foreign language they heard was a foreign language. It was Frank. It was French. It was different. Now the meaning of lingua franca means a common language. A common language. And the difference is we can make mistakes speaking, but not in maths. In maths, errors are forbidden. Ish. Yeah. I mean, I think you can make mistakes in both. You just have to know them. You just have to know that they are mistakes. You know? That means the mind when we talk to others, because we know what we want to talk. Just the language is different. Right. That's right. Yes. You're welcome. Yeah, language is important, everybody. All right, what time is it? Oh, perfect. I'm getting much better at this. Sometimes I go too long and I don't recognize that I've been online for 4 hours. But it's been an hour and a half. It's almost perfect timing. So I'm going to be here for another 5 or 10 minutes. If you have questions, then you should ask me. You have 5 or 10 more minutes. Do you have questions about grammar? Do you have questions about vocabulary? Do you have questions about whatever? You know, ask me. Okay? Oh, the Crusaders, is that the Arabic name is Al-Furanaja? Is that how you say that? Ah, okay, well thank you for teaching me that. That's interesting. So what does Furanaja mean then? Of the what? Al is of something, right? So al what? Al-Furanaja means of the, is it just Crusaders? Or does it have another meaning like foreigner or something like that? Jaja, we have a heat on. We definitely have the heat. Oh, it means the French. Ah, the Franaja. Ah, I see. Okay, yeah. And yeah, somebody else did tell me that. Somebody in another Arabic-speaking person, I can't remember from where, they told me that they also have a word that basically means that everybody from Europe is French. That they said that they have the same thing in Arabic. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. That's why. Yeah. Do you know something? The truth of the matter is the word foreigner. The word foreigner is not a word that I hear very much in my country. Recently I hear it a lot more, but I never used to hear it here. The word foreigner, we would never say that to anybody. Nobody was a foreigner. If you're here, you're here. I never ever thought about anybody from here being a foreigner, to be honest. Really. I thought there are new people. You could be new, but I never ever thought about anybody here as a foreigner. That's just the way I saw it. But when I went to other countries, then I saw that it's different. In many, many, many other countries, anybody from outside, if you come there, then you're a foreigner. You know, it's kind of weird. But the truth is, in America, most of us, I think that's the way we think. The way I was saying that, like, if I see somebody here who's not, they don't look like me, I don't think you're foreign. I don't, that doesn't even occur to me. You could be from here, as far as I'm concerned. Do Europeans speak English better than Chinese? That depends on the European, and it depends on the Chinese. Some Chinese speak English amazingly well, and some Europeans don't. So that's just personal. Yeah, and it's funny, the word foreigner, the only time you'll really hear the word foreigner in America is it's the name of a band. There's a famous band from the 1980s named Foreigner. That's like the most common use of that word in America, is we're talking about a band. Do you like Foreigner? I love Foreigner. They're a great band. Oh, that's interesting. So Foreignaja is that's just like Western stuff. I gotcha. Okay. You have an introverted personality and sometimes it's hard for you to change. Don't let others influence you and make you doubt yourself. Do what makes you comfortable. I like almost everything you said, Madison, except for the last part. The part where you said, do what makes you comfortable. I'm a teacher. And as a teacher, my job is to help people learn. And learning always is uncomfortable. Learning is always uncomfortable. Oh, you're talking to AKM again. Not even talking to me. You two go have your own conversation. You're confusing me here. But I agree with most of the advice you're telling to AKM. But I will tell you that growing means you will be uncomfortable. If you want to grow, then you will be uncomfortable. So that's why I want everyone to understand that You can't run away from being uncomfortable. You can only go through it. You can't hide from it. You can't go around it. You can only go through it. So, do what makes you comfortable, but don't be... Let me think of the right words. Don't be a coward to yourself. Don't be a coward to yourself. Okay? Some people are afraid to do things. That's your own fear. That's your own fear that's preventing you from doing something. And it's because you don't want to be uncomfortable. You want to be comfortable. But comfort... There's a quote I'm trying to think of. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. A comfort zone is a beautiful place. This is my comfort zone. It's so comfortable, but nothing ever grows there. You're worried he'll deny himself and think that staying quiet is bad behavior. You're right. Staying quiet is not bad behavior, but most of the time, in my experience, when you think you should speak up, you should speak up. You know you should. So, as a teacher, it's my job to kind of go like this. Come on, you can do it. I'm pushing you. I'm going to keep pushing you forward to keep doing it. Okay? Oh, geez. Can I spell it? What was I trying to spell? I don't know what word we're talking about now. Thank you, Nora. That's nice of you to say. Letitia, everybody is here to learn English. I have 88,000 followers. You can follow my YouTube channel, you can follow my website, and you can follow my blog. Okay? Everybody is here to learn English. All right? Let me check over here to my YouTube people. No, nobody's talking to me today over here. Okay, so I've been here for 1 hour and 37 minutes. It's time for me to get going. Hilarious wants to know, are there English words that even native speakers struggle to pronounce? Yeah, of course there are. Some of them are really big and long, but some of them are very short. There's a funny TV show from a while ago called 30 Rock. And I remember there was one part of the show where they were talking about some new movie. It was a new movie that came out and nobody could pronounce it. It was a hard one to pronounce because the movie was called The Rural Juror. The Rural Juror. And like everybody was just trying to say the Rural Juror. It's like, all right, what? I can't say it. The Rural Juror. It's hard to say. Right? And then there are some that are just hard. You know, just the word rural. Rural is often tough to say for some people because it has 2 R's and an L in there, right? I had a friend, his name was Rory, R-O-R-Y, and many people had a tough time saying his name, Rory. Yeah, sure. There are some words that are difficult to pronounce or difficult because they're long and, you have to figure out how to pronounce them that way. Okay? Okay, so Dr. Walk, hello. And to the new people here, the rural juror is good to practice for your mouth? Sure. If you can say it, it's good. Yeah. All right, if you are new, hi, my name is Teacher Mark. I have been on Hello Talk for 12 years. I'm one of the #1 recommended teachers on Hello Talk. I have about 88,000 followers here. Okay, here is my YouTube channel. There are hundreds of videos to watch on my YouTube channel about learning English. Here is my website. Everything you need to study English for free is on my website if you go there. It's free. And here is my blog. And how can I be fluent? Okay, here. This is, you need to read this. How can I be fluent? This is my article that I wrote about how to think in English. And somebody else was asking about vocabulary, so I will give you one about vocabulary. If you're trying to learn vocabulary, you need to read this article. And then the final article I will give you is about the 8 parts of language. If you don't know what they are, you can't really learn. So here they are. Read those 3 articles. If that's hard for you, okay, copy the article, ask ChatGPT to help you understand. Okay? Ask ChatGPT to help you understand. Wow, you know what? I think I remember there was a word I was supposed to explain and I forgot way back in the beginning. Oops. What's the difference between determine and decide to? 差不多的意思，都可以说，随便。Okay? Yesterday I determined that I was going to do this. Yesterday I decided that I was going to do this. 都可以. Determine has more meanings. Okay? I was determined is a different meaning. Okay? You are welcome. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna have my break for today. I need to go have some lunch. But yeah, remember, again, a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Letitia, I have been here for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Okay? I am always here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In the morning, I'm usually here. Okay? If I'm not here, then maybe I'm sick, maybe I'm busy, whatever. I mean, maybe I took a break for a day. But I am usually here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if I'm not here, then you can go to my YouTube channel and watch. There are so many videos. You'll never finish that. You'll never finish watching those videos. You should watch them and just take notes. Okay? There are hundreds of questions in there. People ask me the questions. I give the answers. Just go watch and listen and learn. All right? You can do that. All right. That's it for me today. You are welcome. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. And I will see you guys next time. Sayonara.